I have a confession. I love little cream cheese puff things, okay? I like them. There's no particular restaurant that makes them, so it's us versus the world, and we're gonna win. Alright, so crab Rangoon. It's the crispy wonton filled with cream cheese, crab, hopefully, and green onions and blah, 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 all that stuff. You might be thinking, Josh, this seems irregular. Excuse me. If you've ever worked in the back of house at a restaurant and you've gone out after a late night shift, after cooking all day, what do you want? A salad? No, you want deep fried balls of cream cheese and crab in your mouth over and over until you feel sick to your stomach. That's what you want. This does not need an introduction, so with all that said, let's make this, shall we? We're gonna order this one delivery. It just seems right. American Asian restaurants just have like extraordinarily extensive menus and of course the classic crab Rangoon. So we're gonna go to the highest rated one in the city. The restaurant shan't be named because they only have one of them. This delivery driver is gonna be like, this person wanted crab Rangoons at 11 in the morning. This dude gonna have diarrhea. Place order. 45 minutes. 45! Bro, that's too long. Woo! So we got the bag. I'm actually kind of a fan of crab Rangoons. It's gonna be hard for me to poop on it. Ooh, they look kind of good. And then they have their sort of like liquid of death blood sauce. It's a sweet and sour sauce, but you know that this was never touched by a human being. A robot made this. Okay, cream cheese, literally zero crab. Where's the crab? Where is it? This is already a huge L. How many times have you gone to go get crab Rangoon and there's no crab? 70% of the time? We'll just dunk the sack in the blood sauce. It's disappointing and good at the same time because obviously this is a nostalgic thing for me, but it's also lame. It just tastes like fry oil, wontons, and cream cheese. This is a sad excuse for something called a crab Rangoon. You know that we can do much better. The first thing we need to discuss is our wontons. You can use pre-made stuff or you can make your own. If you have any clue where you are, believe Papa will make his own wonton dough. So first thing you need is a medium-sized bowl. Add in 125 grams of all-purpose flour, 20 grams of tapioca starch, and 4 grams of fine sea salt. Whisk that together. Oh yeah, we're using grams only here because accuracy is important for this one. Separately, you're gonna need 70 grams of hot water. Mix in 10 grams of vegetable oil. Then using a fork, begin mixing your flour mixture and stream in your oil and water. Keep mixing until you have a shaggy dough, then begin kneading by hand for about a minute or two until you get a nice, smooth, and supple dough. Wrap that dough in plastic wrap, give it a personality and a respectful name, and let it rest for 15 minutes at room temperature. Now, while that's resting, we need a sweet chili sauce. I'm thinking a sambal gas streak. To make that, combine half a cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar and half a cup or 120 milliliters of rice vinegar. Place it on the stove over medium-high, bring it to a vigorous boil, and let that reduce for 4 minutes or until it begins to turn syrupy. The best way to test it is on a clean plate and make sure it pulls a string like this when completely cool. Now pour that into a bowl, cool it down till just barely warm, then simply mix in 3 tablespoons or 35 grams of sambal olek. You can find this stuff everywhere nowadays. 1 red Fresno chili finely diced, a 2-inch knob of ginger very finely diced, more specifically a brunoise, and 5 cloves of garlic thinly sliced. Mix that together and let it sit until completely cool. And don't forget to get that nice picky for the gram, homie. Vibes for the peeps. Geez. Sorry. Once that's done, divide your dough into 4 pieces, and basically you're gonna treat this like fresh pasta. Press it to get a flat oval, then run it through the thickest setting of a pasta roller, slowly working your way thinner and thinner until you reach number 4 or 5. You definitely want this relatively thin, but not so thin that it falls apart or tears. Once it's looking real nice, cut that into manageable segments, then using a knife, slice those segments into evenly sized squares. It's okay if they vary in size a little bit. Dust each of those pieces generously in tapioca starch and stack on top of each other. Then repeat with the rest of your dough. And just to make sure your dough is good, you can always test fry a piece before you wrap if you wish. And I mean, look at that. That looks like a gosh darn wonton dough, brother. Okay, let's talk filling. The restaurant didn't include crab, so we're including the king of crabs. King crab. This guy is actually from tomorrow's video. Oop. Whoa, we're in the future. Whoa, dude, how do you feel? Anyway, you're gonna need half a pound or 225 grams of good quality crab meat, ideally king. My homies from Regalis sent me this beautiful whole king crab as a gift. They don't pay me to say this stuff, but I really do love them. There's a link in the description if you want to check them out. Now, once you've got all of your meat, give it a nice rough chop. Then in a separate medium-sized bowl, add 12 ounces or 350 grams of full-fat cream cheese. That's softened at room temp. Poke it a little because it feels nice and it's okay to admit that. Then using a whisk, beat your cream cheese till light and creamy. Then beat in 2 teaspoons or 12 grams of Worcestershire sauce, 1 green onion that's been very thinly thinly sliced, 2 cloves of garlic, freshly grated. Then using a spatula, fold that all together, add in your chopped crab.
Oh yeah, you like that? Fresh, plump crustacean? Ooh.
Fold that together until thoroughly incorporated. Now, Papa made a mistakey wakey with his wonton dough and it wasn't dusted enough and it sort of stuck together, so he had to switch to a pre-made dough for the sake of time. Obviously, my wonton dough is superior, but I mean, come on, look at it. Anyway, line up your wonton squares, then using a small cookie scoop or just a spoon, place about 2 to 3 teaspoons of your filling in the center, then brush the edges of each wonton with egg wash that consists of 1 beaten egg. Then shaping these is very simple. Take one side, pinch those 2 edges together, repeat with the other side, then bring those 2 points to the center to meet each other, pinch, and then this should create sort of a 4-winged sort of shape. Then pinch those edges along the length of the wonton so you create a nice fluted Rangoon like this. It's very simple. Here's a little sped up version. You see bing, bop, 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 bow, and there you go. Now, I like the shape to look nice and uniform, so take your time here, make them look beautiful. Or you can make them look ugly like the store-bought if you're vibing like that, whatever. Now repeat with all of your wontons until you have a beautifully uniform army of Rangoons waiting to perish in frying oil. To fry, simply fill a pot with frying oil, at least 2 inches of depth. Heat that to 350 Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. Then fry these guys in batches about 5 to 6 at a time for 3 or so minutes or just until crisp and golden. Don't try to fry too long, otherwise the cream cheese will start to boil and split the Rangoon. That's bad. Also, look how they float like little boats. So cute, little baby, little men. As those finish frying, drain them on a wire rack and repeat with the rest of your Rangoons in batches. Now let's plate these up. Put them on your plate, add some of your sambal gastrique, give them a little dip, and my, look at it. Now let's taste test. Visually, I think we know where this is gonna go. Ball sack or the Great Pyramids? We have fresh king crab in this. This is just a ball of cream cheese. Now dip. I mean, this is just astronomically better. You can taste that sweet, briny, oceanic, crabby flavor.
Not crabby.
The green onion comes through, and then you got the richness of the cream cheese. The tips are nice and crunchy. The bottom, it's got a little bit of chew to it. It's perfect. We did have to resort to the pre-made wontons because Papa let his wontons sit too long and they got all yucky, poopy. So don't do that. We need a taste tester. Who's doing it today? I think we should do these with sauce. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much sauce do you like?
I love sauce.
Oh, okay. So you're supposed to just take a bite and you just kind of put the whole thing in your mouth. It's kind of gross. All right, number 2. Why do you eat the whole thing?
I'm regretting this one.
Yeah. It's okay, it's fine, it's fine. See, come, Papa's got you.
That was the second one. It was terrible.
Yeah.
That was the first one. Amazing. So many flavors. Cheese, crab.
This is almost like dessert-like comparatively, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have our decision made, but better. Episode I literally cannot remember anymore. It's impossible. But thank you, TJ, for picking the winner. Yay, we did it, but better. Oh. You wanna know what else is crunchy, bursts cream cheese and crab in your mouth, and makes you tap dance after consumption? B-roll. Alright guys, and that is it. So we made our crab Rangoon. I mean, it was an easy win, let's be honest. It was a very easy dub. Using king crab, I think, is a bit of a leg up, obviously. Even with imitation crab, we still would have won. Having that extra flavor, taking the care to make your own wontons, even though Papa kind of forgot about it, whatever. Doesn't matter. This is yet another reason why making it from scratch and making it exactly how you want it to taste will always be the best version of whatever it is that you make. Assuming that you're, like, you know how to season stuff properly. The main point is, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you